Oh yeah, I should probably get some to read chat. Not a terrible idea. Oh, it's supposed to be empty. Oh, did I have a comment? Ah, dang, it was... How are you awake? You should probably go to bed by now. Aren't you normally in bed by now, Kyle? Why aren't you in bed? Fuck. Oh shoot, that doesn't work because the scene's not on. Not anymore. What do you mean not anymore? What do you mean not anymore? Okay, Marie, I'm sorry. Let me just give you the reward. Where's the thing? You realize it's gonna be really loud. But I just decided to use this one because it sounds ravey. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Watch out, it's gonna be freaking loud. Okay, there you go. You happy? Okay, Banner. Liz Rinsa, don't worry. Ah, crap. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm in a better mood, but part of the reason I didn't stream earlier was because I wasn't feeling well and I was worried I was gonna have a terrible stream. I was worried I was gonna have an absolutely horrible stream earlier. You know why? Because when I woke up and I felt good. I woke up and I felt really good. I was like, I can't wait to play Dragon Quest. This was like 12 hours ago. This was at least like 12 hours ago. Probably more. I've been awake a long time. And so I woke up, I was like, I'm gonna play Dragon Quest all day, I'm gonna have a great day. I'm gonna like go exercise, blah 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 blah. I woke up willing to stream and I was in a good mood. Do you know what I found out like 30 minutes to an hour after I woke up? I'm at a point where despite the fact I decided not to go live because I was afraid I was gonna rant about it, and I'm ranting about it anyway. Lol. I have no self-control. I have no self-control. This is the whole reason I didn't go live. Is because I was whining about this. I was in a shitty mood. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? My day got ruined like 30 minutes into the day getting started. Please ask me, because I want to tell y'all. I'll probably tell y'all anyway, but still. I wish to have the social permission to whine. I found that despite your rage, you're just still a rat in a cage. I mean, kind of, if the cage is like society and money and capitalism and rent and everything. My rent went up. I have to pay my landlord $100 more this month. That sucks. I love an ice cream. Sugar. Sugar. Are you trying to give me diabetes? Yeah, that was just no fun. No fun at all. I was in fact in what went from a really good feeling morning, well rested, to hearing my rent has gone up. And I owe my landlord. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. That I owe my landlord another extra $100 freaking this month. I was not happy. Landlord. That's right, Bruce. You're a landlord. That's what you get for picking my rent. That's what he deserves. That's what he deserves for raising my rent. He didn't want to be called this. He shouldn't raise the rent. I'm so glad Aegwin is getting his job soon because, wow, finances have been tight. I was not in a good place when I heard about that. I was like, oh my god. Anyway, what did I do for a lot of the rest of the day? I did clothes, I did some laundry. I searched and searched for a pair of my leggings because I wanted to go for a run, or a jog, or a walk, or a skateboard, and go, like, work off my frustration. Like, I couldn't find it. I eventually just found, like, another pair of, like, I think they're, like, Adidas sweatbands. And I was just like, sure, that'll work. But I still haven't found either of my pairs of leggings. It frustrates the heck out of me. Right. Look, listen. Yeah, it hasn't been a great day. Well, it started off as a bad day, but it's gotten better. I'm in a better mood now, despite my ranting, because I was, like, very irritated. Do you think I'm too negative on stream? I've lost a lot of followers lately, and I wonder if it's just that I'm being seen as too negative. Oh yeah, I watched... That was another thing that was, like, good/bad. I watched Fang stream, if y'all have heard of, like, Fangu. She had, like, a VR chat stream in, like, this teeny little micro bikini in VR chat. It was so bittersweet because it was a fun stream and she was real cute, but also... Like, I was worried she was gonna get banned. I kept worrying that she'd end up getting banned for that stream because, like... It was a micro bikini. She had, like, a lolly avatar on and she was wearing a micro bikini. Fang! I don't know if the VOD's still up. You might enjoy it because she's got, like, a lolly avatar in VR chat. I hope she doesn't get in trouble. I fear for that because, you know, what happened to me. If the vlog's up, go check out Fang's on stream. She's in, VR chat in, like, a micro bikini. I just hope she doesn't get in trouble for that. No, seriously, I'm not saying that with any, like, thing attached to it. I seriously fear for her. Because both Twitch and VR chat are jerks about that sort of thing. Her VR streams are great. That's the bittersweet part, is I miss VR chat. I just have so much fear around trying to, like, ban evade and get back on. I'll never be able to make content about VR chat again. Like, I wish I was in her position. I was a little bit jealous. I'm like, dang, I wish that was me. Alright, that's enough of, like, blasting your ears off with EDM for the moment. I'm glad you like my VR stream, so I'd love to be able to do it again. Yeah, her stream was fun. Even if I'm a little jealous, I'm quite happy for her. Like, go check out her VOD sometime, it's good. Do I have Rekka on here? Or did I not get around to it? I think I forgot to put Rekka on this. I mean, it's still up. Should I play, maybe I should just finish Dragon Quest. Oh yeah, I played Wild Arms. Actually gotten in the past year a decent way through Wild Arms 1 on the PS1. Featuring Kirby. I think I could play some Kirby 1. Cause now in your legs. Knees. Knees. Well, let's start off with some pinball. You know what pinball works. That's what landlords deserve, honestly. Dungeon and Dragons game online. Wait, what? You're gonna have to give me more details about that, Ice. Weird chat on Discord. It would be better than nothing. The only thing that sucks about Discord streaming is there's no VODs. It just kind of disappears into the ether. I'm surprised I have people to talk to at this hour, but I'm certainly not complaining. And stream at the same time, yeah! Just have to find some way to, like, get the VOD off of my drive and into cloud storage. Preferably free cloud storage, because having multiple really big hard drives just for old VODs, it's stressful, and those hard drives could fail too. Oh, dang it, I lost the ball. We're not off to a great start here. Think about VODs is that the space they take up, like, really adds up quickly. Like, really adds up quickly. The little penguins. Aw, that's cute. I'm so glad you have people to talk to. I thought it was gonna be really lonely in the stream. I would no way want to, like, pressure people who lurk in my streams to comment. But the last stream when I ended, like, I was feeling really lonely. I spent, like, the next 2 hours talking to people on Discord because I was like, you know what I want more than the stream? I want to talk to people. There's no one to talk to right now, so you actually just ended stream last time and was like, I'm just gonna bother people on Discord because I'm lonely. It's very easy if I'm in, like, a lonely mood. If I have no one to talk to when I'm streaming and playing games, to just be like, oh my gosh, there's no one to talk to, the chat died. And then feel bad and lonely and just want to end stream. And last time I did, I think it just got... Oh, no. Timbo's there. Hey, Timbo. Really shouldn't be no more fear. Because the targeted attacks, they should be. I don't know if there's someone at, like, the VR chat team themselves that's, like, stalking me. I don't know, it might happen anyway. But I should trust you. I mean, you were there. You were there when the whole thing went down. I would love to return to VR chat. I miss VR chat. Especially watching Fang stream. That made me miss VR chat a lot. It's been years now. If I do return to VR chat, I think what I'll do is like... Ah! It was close. I think I'll just like play for like at least a month off stream and see if I can like last without getting banned. Make sure I don't do anything that could be construed as unsafe for work. And then like slowly and anonymously try to ease into finding some sort of content I could make. Like maybe an anonymous VOD of some sort. Oh look, it's Mario. Mario and Pauline. It's always been mysterious how those numbers actually work. Oops. Ah, screw. Yeah, I definitely don't want my name to be exposed, not no more. Used to be I wasn't afraid of people seeing my name. But now... my name makes me pretty vulnerable. How come you haven't bothered me on Discord? I don't know, why haven't you bothered me on Discord? Me, I would love to talk to you more. I'll make sure I try to bug you more. I'm always hoping you'll message me, so... it's not for lack of want. I think it's one of those situations where you always hope the other person messages you first. Sometimes it feels awkward to be the one who messages. So good to hear from you, though. With so many games with music, I forgot just how quiet pinball is. Is this game from the year 6? The year 6? What does that mean? Twitch clip on Discord? Okay, cool. Oops. I lose. I don't know what from the year 6 means. The game's old. Well, yeah. Is the year 6 like slang for something? I am in the retro category after all. Sort of what I've been focused on recently is retro, but I'm mostly playing NES games lately. As if you add 7 to it. Are you making a freaking 6-7 meme? The young is in their 6-7s. C's agreed. No, seriously though. Wait, what happened to my pads? What the heck? Is this supposed to happen? Well, that's one way to lose. I don't know when this came out. Might have been released in like 1986 or something. Like a number ending in 6. No! Darn. Whoa, an identified squid. Wow, there's actually people here? Good morning. Maybe it's like 1984, 1985, 1986, something like that. I don't know when this came out. It was an early game in the NES library. Well, anyway, good morning, Squid. Everything on the NES library is old. Oh, does this game use that? Well, I know there's that one part where Pauline is there. It's in that upper right corner. But yeah, anything I've been playing lately is old. It's the NES after all. Whoa, why did it do that? Why did it time out? My laptop is being dumb. It's plugged into the wall, right? Should be. Weird, I don't know why it did that. I don't remember when the GameCube came out. Somewhere around like the year 2000? Maybe like 2002, something like that? Might have been as old as the year 2000. I don't remember. Oh, 2001? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I've been kind of focused on the NES lately, so don't be surprised to see a lot of really old games. Because that's pretty much anything on the NES library. Oh, if only I went up into the corner. Oh, yeah. Well, you're definitely younger than me, so makes sense. It's just called pinball on the NES. It doesn't have any specific name that I'm aware. At least in America, I just remember it being called pinball. If it has like another title, I don't know what it is. NES. Now this definitely looks like it has reused assets from Donkey Kong. Look at that Pauline up there. But before it was all about Princess Peach. Aw, dang it, darn. If you get her down, you get a nice bonus, but no. I screwed it up. Oh no! Well, that sucks. Oh, hey, Bella. Oh, yeah, well, Donkey Kong is where she debuted. Even on the Famicom. There's a pretty good pinball game that's on the Game Boy about Kirby. Still newer since the Game Boy was around the Super Nintendo library. It's not that much newer though. I like Kirby's pinball. If you think about it, pinball machines are basically a precursor to video games because, you know, video games started off in places like bars and whatnot. Like, Pong was originally put alongside, like, little entertainment games you would find at bars. Alongside, like, pinball. Like, before you had Pong, you had, like, pinball machines and little other novelty games at, like, restaurants and bars and whatnot. I think they started at bars. Places like that. Weren't a lot of the places you would find pinball machines? And games like Pong at bars? Yeah, I thought that was correct. And if that was also because a lot of, like, little entertainment machines. Or at bars, you would find pool tables at bars. You would find pinball machines. In fact, a lot of Sega games, before they became a video game company, were like little, like, shooting games and other novelty games to entertain people while they were at the bar. There's kind of a tradition of that at bars, because again, pool tables and whatnot. Pinball really is a precursor to video games. Played pool at bars. Yeah, there was other novelties. Not just pool. Oh shoot, don't fall off. It's too late. It's a good non-alcoholic drink. Are you someone who prefers to stay away from alcohol? It's probably a good thing. I, for one, am interested in some non-alcoholic beers, particularly like a stout, just because I like bitter flavors. Oh, you don't like the smell of alcohol, so it's just a personal taste thing. Yeah, both Sega and Nintendo had analog attractions, other precursors to video games. Which is really cool, because people figured out a way to, like, make entertainment machines before they used computers. Yeah, back when Sega was called Service Games, they made, like, a lot of, like, little mechanical games for bars. Why does this game do that? Why is it making my flippers disappear? I'm not a fan of not being able to see my flippers. Oh, shoot. Game over. I guess it's a challenge thing? I don't know what causes that. But yeah, I like the flavor stouts because I like bitter things. Are you emulating this? Technically? But I don't think that's an emulation problem. Because it's an extremely accurate core. Technically, it's hardware emulation. I'm playing this on the Retro AVS, I'm playing this on the Retro AVS, whatchamacallit, the Retro AVS, the Retro USB AVS, which is an FPGA clone system, which is based off of... The cores for these systems are based on uncapped... Dang it, this sucks. Let me just... there used to be like a... There it is. And end the game for now. So it is a clone system. It is a clone system that apparently is out of stock now. They're going for way too much on eBay. You're better off just getting like a Mr. FPGA. But it's an FPGA clone console, which uses an Intel Cyclone chip, I think. And these are... I'm like explaining what an FPGA is for the umpteenth time. These are something that Intel started making because really, really old computers were used by governments and banks. And they were starting to break down. So they needed a way to replace these really, really old computers. and to make an accurate recreation. And instead of fabricating really large CPUs and computer systems and bringing back those old factories and fabricators and whatnot to make really old, outdated computers and computer hardware, like really huge transistor CPUs, like on old computers, the sort where people had to like use COBOL as a programming language. I mentioned a lot of old banks still had stuff on there, just like we need a replacement for these old computers running COBOL. Is the language you gotta use in order to work with them. So Intel was noticing a piece of the market that was like, well, these huge, super wealthy companies, these huge banks, these government computers, there is a need in the market for really, really old computers that aren't being manufactured anymore. It makes no sense to manufacture them. Again, it wouldn't be cost effective. So they designed at Intel a CPU that rewrites itself to have the architecture of a different old CPU. So they could sell these things to the banks who need really old computer systems, whether it's at NASA, whether it's at like, what's some of those banks? Am I drawing a blank for banks? I don't know. All those big bangs. Oh, crap. You know, like in Chase or whatnot. JP Morgan or something. Putting an alarm, so I think it's time to. So, a lot of these banks, a lot of big, wealthy governments, banks, institutions, financiers, all this different stuff. Finance capital is really, really old computers that are outdated. So, Intel noticing there's a need in the market for these old computers that people programmed financial stuff into I swear this is going to come to video games eventually. So Intel took that need and they were like, okay, it makes no sense to fabricate? Yes. To like, get production lines running on these really old things. But, these banks would be willing to pay for that anyway because it's insanely needed by them. So they made a chip that's not very good by modern standards, but what it can do is internally rewrite itself to be one of those old computers. And you could buy them as a consumer still, even if they weren't very good for modern stuff. And hobbyists were like, wait a minute, it can rewrite itself to be an old computer chip? Like an old punch card COBOL, financier, JP Morgan computer. It's like all their old financial stuff on it, the sort of thing that people were worried was going to break at Y2K and ruin the entire stock market. Well, gamers looked at this like they always look at new technology. Gamers always look at new technology and they're like, but what if I could use it to make video games? So they decided to repurpose this to make a different kind of computer. Instead of all the stuff that all the old banks are using, they decided to use it to to recreate the chips on old video game consoles and all old gaming computers, like the NES or the Commodore 64, or the PC 98 or so forth. It is not the origin of game emulators. This is way newer. Game emulators are old. FPGAs are new. Anyway, I gotta go use the bathroom, and honestly, you should go feed the cats. So I'll be back in just a bit and I'll explain more. But the long and short of it is that they would uncap, they would completely scan, like a high resolution scan of these old chipsets, like take apart an NES, do a heavy scan on the whole chipset, rip apart, like, you know, the top of the chip where it's like has the Intel logo and you put in a heatsink on it and stuff. They ruined those CPUs, making them unusable. Like, they would just tear off. That's what uncapping is. They would tear off the top of it, do a high resolution scan of the insides of that chip, like an NES chip. And instead of reverse engineering how the system works and try to get games working, it's meant to just replicate those scans any functions of the way the chip works on like the microscopic level. And the FPGA core just looks at those scans and different things and tries to replicate what the chip is doing. Not the game behavior, but the circuitry of the chip. Anyway, gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back, lol. But that's how an FPGA works. I'm worried about Mark. I just got back from trying to feed him, and he refused to eat from his bowl. We're gonna have to take him to, the vet or something soon, because I'm concerned. I would also like to say that a similar level of attempt at accuracy is done with cycle-accurate emulators, like software emulators. But FPGAs are a different phenomenon. I would be more akin to calling hardware emulation than software emulation. Because in software emulation, even if they are using like decapped CPUs and trying to replicate the behavior at the hardware level, it still has to go through software, which is very taxing. It's just why you even need, decent computers, decent modern computers to get accurate emulation of really, really old stuff. So I shouldn't say, though, that it's exclusive to FPGAs, that it's based on trying to recreate at the microscopic level the circuitry of old boards and old chipsets. Because cycle-accurate software emulators try to do the same thing, so I guess one way to talk about it would be like HLEs, or high-level emulation, or low-level emulation. Both FPGAs and cycle-accurate emulators, such as BSNES, or the Hegon and Ares project, are both trying to get as close to or cycle accurate if they can. These are just two different methods to try to achieve the same thing, which is low-level emulation. Which is, instead of trying to base it on the games and replicating game and system behaviors, it is attempting to recreate the hardware behavior itself, free of any differences, if at all possible. And so, I shouldn't say, oh, this is the difference between FPGAs and software. But fundamentally, the FPGA is trying to at least be a cycle-accurate hardware emulation. Whereas you're much more likely to see something like, I don't even know if you can do high-level emulation on a FPGA, because I don't think that's what FPGAs are made for. Because that's fundamentally what an FPGA chipset was designed to do, was to just recreate the circuitry within its own chip. Whereas high-level emulators, not low-level emulators, are cycle-accurate emulators, but high-level emulators are just trying to recreate the behavior of certain games. Well, in the system in general, but it's not really recreating the full chipset hardware. We can't really do that yet. Unless you're like a supercomputer. If you wanted like a PS2 emulator that was cycle accurate, you get like 2 frames per second or something awful. Even on like a really high-end computer. It's just way taxing. Am I doing a good job of explaining FPGAs, Kyle? This is about as best as I can do as someone who has a layperson's knowledge. far as emulators go, as far back as the video games themselves, barely took time before they followed along. I know that one of the first emulators, definitely way earlier than FPGAs, is Nesticle, which was a really, really edgy NES emulator. Yeah, Natsume already mentioned Nesticle. FPGAs are recent. The FPGAs are a very recent attempt by Intel to fill a niche by the big buck holders who have all these old dying computers that are still important to the economy. Because they have they haven't been able to replicate some old setups they did back in the 70s or whatever. And people were using punch card computers. And gamers are like, we can play video games on this thing. Who needs Wall Street? Because gamers will always find some way to turn a technology into something for gaming, just like everyone figures out a way to run Doom. Gamers will find a way. Yeah, exactly. It's very approachable. A lot more affordable than, like, trying to refabricate old computers or old consoles. Like, I think someone's, like, comparing how hard it would be for someone to make CRTs again. After all these factories and fabrication systems are shut down. And basically, it would cost like $100,000 or something crazy to make a CRT. Because the only reason that CRTs and other old TVs were as cheap as they were is because of the scale of production. You know, they were making millions of those old TVs, which brought down the cost per TV significantly. So if you think about it that way, it's just like, no one's gonna make CRTs again unless they can sell like 1 million of them. Same is true with the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's just much more affordable to try to decap old computer and other system CPUs and just try to use hardware emulation. As long as it gets 99.9% of the way to total hardware accuracy, it doesn't make much of a meaningful difference. It looks like we're playing Tetris now. Hopefully my explanation was accurate and not too confusing. No, wait, there's some Russian music. There's Russian music in here. This is... I think this music may be Russian. I forget which one this is. I know that uses a lot of classical music. People selling brand new CRTs, but they were emulating them. That makes sense, because to make an actual CRT, you're looking at, like, to fabricate a single CRT is like fabricating a single microwave from scratch. You're looking at something like $100,000. No one wants to do that for like a single CRT. You'd have to make like a lot of them to bring down the cost of each CRT. Same is true with these old chipsets. Why was it called testicle though? Sounds like testicle. It was intending to sound like the word testicle. It was edgy. The cursor that was like literally I think like a severed hand. I never used Nesticle. But apparently it was like one of the first console emulators ever. Back when people like to be real edgy. Cause swimsuit, that's cool. I don't know who PETA is. If I missed any comments? I mean, maybe I should be in the Tetris. I don't know if I should be in the Tetris category. I'll be in the Tetris category. Which Tetris, though? There's a lot of Tetris categories. There's a lot of categories that just say Tetris. Post about a Dragon Quest, The Dive. Ooh, VR! Cool. I haven't used my VR headset in a while. It's just been collecting dust, I'm ashamed to say. I didn't use VR for much other than VR chat, to be honest with you. Now VR chat's giving me a ton of bad memories. Ugh, that one's gonna probably bite me in the butt later. Saying of old video games, I'm proud of that Gen Alpha kid for being the best Tetris player in the world. I'm so glad that, you know, old video games are being appreciated by newer generations of people. Oh, there's just no good place to put this. Oh yeah, I'm screwed. It all goes downhill at some point. It all comes crumbling down at some point. Ooh, it looks messy and ugly. Let's see if we can make this look less ugly. Much better. Let's check chat. Unless you can produce a lot of them. Exactly, Fairy. You understand completely, Fairy Seraphina. You're smart. I am by no means great at this game, but I'm not totally incompetent either. It's been a long A long time since I played this game. I haven't played Tetris in years now. Sometimes you just gotta make peace with less than ideal setups. Why are they suddenly giving me so many 4s when I don't need them? I swear this game just bullies you sometimes. Like right now. It's just mean. What are you trying to do to me, game? Game is being a bully, chat. I don't need that right now. Can you give me some 2s? Game is like, no, you should have played better. Get good, scrub. Oh, that's just mean! That's just mean! Never mind, I'm totally incompetent at this game. I really screwed myself over. Why are you giving me so many 2s now that I don't need them? There's no Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I heard about that. No, I haven't played Tengen Tetris. Nope. What the heck are you doing, Mark? Hey, Kuna! Good to hear from you! Oh, it says Ota-san. What about Ota-san? Could you be dad? It's a Sugar Plum Fairy song. Thank you for watching Ojimajo Doremi with me the other day. That was fun. I'm already screwing myself over. I keep going at this rate, I'm gonna start cursing in Russian. Yeah, we do, for sure. It's like my second favorite anime. Shoujo anime really needs more love. You know Russian curses? I only know a couple, like blood means bitch, I think? Or do we have that wrong? Well, it was close. Ooh, time to get a 4! Tetris. What to do? I'm a fan of whatever that was. Oh shoot, that was so close. I almost screwed that up. Of only... Really? When I don't need it at all? It's just mean. This game's being a bully again. Even fewer actually distinct suppliers. And for the chip manufacturing. Yeah, I don't like how a few people are in charge of the, production and in manufacture and stuff of microchips, basically. The means to make microchips are held by a very few number of people who have, like, the know-how and all of everything. The eggs are in a very small number of baskets. Oh, that just sucks. I just screwed myself up super hard. I mean, I just want to give up on this one. Yeah, I really screwed up. Like, really, really screwed up. I'm just gonna start over. And here I claim to not be incompetent. Looks pretty much like incompetence to me. I mean, it can be a tricky game at times. I'm certainly no Tetris expert. How dare you give me that now? Mean. Can you please give me a 4? Finally! That took forever! Game really knows how to bully. Ugh. I just had nowhere good to put that. Set myself up for failure here. This is why it's hard to go for 4s. Oh, nowhere good to put it! Doesn't support many suppliers since tooling is not something... Exactly, yeah. That's true. Everything you're saying is true. Oh, Inkuna, can I rant at you something? I woke up this morning well-rested and happy for the rest of the day. And then I got some really bad news from Julia. And I was crashing out for like the first hour after I woke up. I was emotional. I was definitely emotional. You want to know what happened? I can sort of laugh about it now, even though I still kind of want to cry. There's no good place to put this. Alright. So, it's the beginning of the month. And bad news comes immediately. I'm like, good mood. Can't wait to stream. Almost got my stream set up, and I'm like, Julie comes downstairs and tells me, oh yeah, you have to pay our landlord another $100 this month. And I'm like, why? Oh, didn't I tell you the rent went up? I was crashing the heck out. I chose not to stream because I was in a really, really awful mood. For like at least a couple hours after I heard that news. I'm still not totally okay, but at least I can talk about it without being on the verge of tears now. I was on the verge of tears for like the first hour after I heard the news. I was not okay. I was not doing okay. Finances are already really tight, so to hear that our rent was going up. Let's just say that my good mood after I woke up was completely shattered. I went from excited to stream to being like, I am not in the right mental space to stream. And I am not pressing go live until I feel better. It really did ruin most of my day when I heard the news. I'm doing better now. Went for a walk on a skateboard, got some exercise, made some food, did some chores. It's just getting harder for everybody. Rent's going up, cost of living increases. Seems like no one can catch a break. So what did I do? Let's see. I took a long, relaxing shower. Watched some YouTube videos. Vented to some of my friends online on Discord. Spent a lot of time going through clothes and things. Did a few chores. Went on a skateboard ride and bought myself a soda, which was probably irresponsible considering every penny is gonna count. When can I see those extra large discounted sodas at the local Circle K is a nice reward. Especially since it takes like at least 3 miles to go there and back home. Seems like you get a decent amount of soda for the money. I guess I'm not doing too bad. Oh, I just screwed things up. I'll manage, but that's kind of messes me up. Oh, the flies are kind of annoying me again. You know, the flies should be gone by now. People are coming in and out of the house. Or are not coming in and out of the house as much. I've been really keeping... Oh my gosh, get out of my face, fly. I've been really on top of the litter box. I cleaned up all sorts of things. Where are they? Oh no, there's still so many. Ah! One just went on my forehead. I'm gonna wash my hands and wash my face. I'm so sick of these things. I'm so gosh darn sick of these flies. We didn't used to have a fly problem. We didn't used to have a fly problem. Is this gonna charge? Oh no, don't tell me it's not gonna charge. That would be catastrophic. One sec, please. You're feeling better. It helped a little. I was pretty much a wreck when I first heard the news. Okay, good, it's charging now. I'm gonna go be a germaphobe. Follow. Oh, good! I didn't know you didn't follow me already. Well, thank you. Thank you for the follow, Fairy Seraphin. Or Seraphina. I hope for a big catch you later. Alright, catch you later, Inkuna. I'm gonna go be a germaphobe and go wash my hands and stuff. These flies are driving me crazy. Oh, I did mute myself. Alright, I'm back. I feel better now. I'm gonna go check out if there was any fellow fare. Found a place that's very cozy. Yay, I'm glad you think I'm cozy. Happy to have you. I'm glad I'm making friends here. Glad I'm making new people. Okay, maybe you don't. Maybe it's too soon to say friends, but you know, to meet more people. I'm glad I got a stream in today. I was worried I wasn't gonna. And I think you're cool. You know a lot of cool stuff about technology. I think that's pretty neat. That was less than ideal. I screwed myself over. I'm glad you think I'm cozy. Just something I'm also autistic. Ah! I hate to say this, but I'm not surprised. A lot of people who like talking about things they're knowledgeable about, whether that's like, you know, tech stuff or something else, often have like a hyperfixation or special interest or something. I'm not gonna say I assumed that you were autistic, but it doesn't surprise me to hear. Ooh, shoot, it's getting faster and I'm screwing up. A fly almost flew on my face again. I am definitely not doing as well. Oh, it's getting so fast. It's getting scary fast. Haha, I'm in danger. Oh yeah, I'm screwed. Don't panic or do I'm not your boss. Oh, I'm great at panicking. That's like my whole thing. I'm prone to panic. Yeah, there's also a lot of ADHD people who maybe not as often have special interests, at least have hyperfixations. I'm certainly not trying to like stereotype or be like, oh, you know about STEM things, you know about technology, obviously autism. I'm just like, I'm not surprised to hear it. Because number one, there's a lot of autistic people who were knowledgeable about STEM or knowledgeable technology, and even more so the fact that you were knowledgeable and you came in here and you talked about something in a very knowledgeable way. So this is meant as like a compliment, not as a like, oh my gosh, you're obsessed. But as a like, oh, you're really knowledgeable and you came in and shared like a bunch of super precise, intelligent things about like, you know, chip manufacture and cost effectiveness and different things. You like explained it in a better way than I could. And so I didn't like assume that. I'm just like, when you say that, it's like, oh yeah, this definitely sounds like something someone who is like on the spectrum or neurodivergent would definitely have a talent for knowledge, like in-depth knowledge, whether it's via studying or a hyperfixation or even a special interest. I mean it completely as a compliment. The new Goemon collection. Oh, there's a new Goemon collection? Awesome! I have so many interests now, I don't know if you could see I have just like one hyperfixation. I mean, my hyperfixations come and go. That's kind of how hyperfixations tend to be. What I mean is special interests. Do I have one special interest? I have like several special interests. I guess you could say Japanese culture has been a special interest since I was a teenager. It's just often been difficult because people are like hyper vigilant about cultures being fetishized or whatever. And like I wasn't trying to like fetishize a culture. It just happened to be a special interest of mine. It's like, oh yeah, but you're so obsessed with this culture. Why are you so obsessed with Japanese culture? Well, it's because it was a special interest. It wasn't me trying to fetishize a group of people. It was literally just a special interest. It has been since I was a teenager. It's like, oh, you'll grow out of it when you realize Japan isn't some perfect paradise for you to fetishize. And it's been a long time later and nothing changed because this wasn't like a generalization or a fetish. It was just my brain being neurospicy and being like, ooh, learning about Japanese culture. That's interesting. As for other special interests, obviously I've always been really into video games. In fact, I think part of the reason I developed a special interest in Japanese culture was like, obviously the fact I grew up on like anime and video games, and like, well, as a kid it seemed like all the best video games came from Japan. But I think as a kid, the first hyper-fixated Asian culture I became into was China. And my mom said that it happened because... Oh, sorry, the flies are bothering me. That's an autistic thing that bothers me, is like... If there's a fly on me, I will notice it instantly. It's so uncomfortable. It's hard for me to concentrate with all these flies. Like, I've been trying so hard. So hard to discourage them. So hard to keep the house clean. I cleaned the litter box last night. I put more litter in the litter box to compensate for the old litter. I took out the trash. I cleaned the stovetop. I cleaned the kitchen counters. I cleaned the kitchen floor. Where is it that they keep multiplying? But yeah, when I was like 4 years old, my mom always told me that I got interested in East Asian culture because she would put it on PBS and I would completely go from like crying or being in a bad mood as like a 4-year-old or a 2-year-old or however old I was. If she put One Can Cook on, she would always tell me this. I was too young to remember. I was like 4. But she would tell me that as long as she put One Can Cook on the TV, that I would just suddenly magically be happy. And then as soon as it seemed like it was later on in life, I would insist on trying to go to the kitchen before she trusted me to go into the kitchen. And she'd be like, you can't be in the kitchen. Why do you want to be in the kitchen, dear? Please, this is you'll get in the kitchen when you're older. And I would tell my mom I wanted to make One Can Cook Chinese food. One of my first like special interests as a child was Chinese food. And it ended up I got like a larger interest in Chinese culture. Like she would give me books from the library about Chinese culture when I was like stuff that was age appropriate from the library when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And then later, once I started getting even more into video games, and I realized most video games were from Nintendo, from Japan, it was sort of easy for me to transfer some of my interest in Chinese culture to Japanese culture at around 6 or 7. And then I got really into reading about it when I was a teenager. As an adult, it's hard for me to say what all my special interests are because I've got like dozens of them. I got into reading about language families for a while. I remember when I was really, really young, I wanted to learn how to cook Chinese food, and then I started reading about like Buddhism and Taoism and Confucianism and just like a lot of aspects about like Chinese and Japanese and East Asian culture. It actually started with China first. It later transferred over to taking more interest in Japan. But there was like some overlap, of course. A lot of Japanese culture comes from China. It was kind of awkward because when I was a kid, like my parents would warn me, "Oh, there's some bad things about Chinese culture. They're not like America. They're like communist and they don't like freedom of speech over there. And it's like really different." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, Mom." So then at first I was like, "Oh, I got into this new country, Mom. All my favorite video games come from Japan." And they're like, "Oh, that's even worse. They abused China in World War II." And they did all these horrible different things, and they did something in Pearl Harbor, and I'm like, oh, but I thought it was bad to be into China because they were communist, Mom. And now it's bad to be in Japan because they were against China? I was just like an innocent little child, so I was trying to wrap my brain around it. At some point, I didn't care enough because I was still completely enthralled with learning about both of these countries. But at some point, I feel like my interest in trying to read books and things about Japan superseded my previous interest in, like, reading about Taoism and Chinese food and books about Kung Fu. It wasn't like such a closed-minded thing that I didn't take an interest in other things. Like, I didn't take Kung Fu or Karate when I was a kid. I actually took Taekwondo because that's what my cousin did. I was on a swim team and I took Taekwondo because I wanted to be in the thing my cousin was doing. I really looked up to him. And if he was in Taekwondo, I wanted to be in Taekwondo. I actually kind of got myself burned out because I was, like, studying and part of band. God, I wish I took choir instead. And I was in... oh, crud. I'm kind of screwed. I was in band, in Taekwondo, and on a swim team at the same time. I eventually burned myself out. And quit both Taekwondo and swim team. For one, my grades were starting to slip because I didn't really have a lot of time to study at home. It's like at some point something was going to suffer. It was either going to be me struggling to learn my instrument, or be good at swimming, or be good at Taekwondo, or my grades were going to suffer. And at some point the grades started to suffer and my parents were like, yeah, you need to cut out one thing. And I just got so burned out by trying to overexert myself for all of those things. I still have an interest in Taoism. I don't think that ever changed. Like, when did I first read about this? I think I first learned what Taoism is at, like, age 5? At the, like, local library or something? I was insanely young. This was, like, right after my mom, like, showed me a Chinese cookbook. Because I was obsessed with one can cook. I don't even remember this. I only know this because of my mom. When I was like 4 years old, if I was crying, or I was like a bad kid or something was wrong with me emotionally, she could just put on one can cook, and I would be mesmerized and I would calm down. And like my eyes would go wide. I don't know why that happened. I was 4. You'd have to ask her. I was 4 years old. All I know is that Mom told me the trajectory was Mom would put on PBS, when I was like 2 and 3 and 4. I would be mesmerized anytime One Can Cook was on. Then I went and insisted on going to the kitchen because I really wanted to make Chinese food. And then my mom bought a Chinese food cookbook. And I would go to the library and I read about things like Buddhism and Taoism and Confucianism. As much as my tiny little 4, 5, more like 5 years old at that point, brain could understand anything. I remember she also bought like children's books for me because I was interested in that. There was like this one called Ping. That one I didn't like, it made me sad. And Mom thought it was disturbing because like the moral of the story is someone always has to come in last place and be punished. And so that was, like, sad, and it made me sad, and Mom was like, I don't know about this one. But she bought me, like, some books, like Ping, when I was, like, 4. Because I was interested in that. And then I would, like, clicked at some point that I had and was obsessed with the NES. So I was obsessed with video games and that the NES came from Japan. And that started the new obsession. In which was like, oh wow, Japan has Buddhism too. I think it was similar enough that my brain latched onto that as well. What's interesting is despite so much of Japanese culture coming from China, what I know now is really interesting to like... This is of course a generalization, but it does seem like that a lot of Japanese people are more reserved, like, about their thoughts and feelings and opinions on things. Like, a lot of Chinese people are really open about what they think and feel. And like in Japan, it like really goes against harmony and whatnot. Which everyone's, you know... Anyway, I digress. I don't like the situation I'm in. Let's see, as an adult, there's so many things I became special interested in. Obviously, there was video games. I guess reading about religion is like a special interest to me. Religion, mythology, all these different like things. I like reading about language families. I think I already mentioned that. I like exploring music. I can listen to a lot of different genres of music. I wouldn't say I'm, like, obsessed with learning an instrument, but, like, just, like, exploring different genres. I don't know if that counts as a special interest, though. Not a fan of whatever is going on here. No! Oh, I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed. Oh, it was nice while that lasted. Pretty colors, by the way. Very pastel. Did I kill chat? No, I didn't say things like that out loud. It's called weeb. I'm a huge weeb. I'm incurably, chronically a weeaboo. Speaking of language families and like Chinese culture and all that, y'all ever heard of the Tocharians? It's where these like Indo-European people who lived as far east as China. We don't know what happened to them. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. I wish we knew more about the Tocharians. Or is it Tocharians? How's it pronounced?
Tocharian.
Tocharian, okay. I guess I got it right. Okay, I'm gonna be right back in just a sec. So they were a group of like Western Indo-European peoples who lived as far east as China. It's so cool. Well, I don't speak an Indo-European language anymore. It's believed that, some of the people who live in Xinjiang may be related to, have some Tocharian ancestry, which would be pretty cool. This should be pretty cool if true. I am going to be right back again. Okay, I'm back. I can put it in the chat if you're like curious. Totarian. Tokarian. Maybe you should play some Dragon Quest now. I got to lose. I got to lose several. may as well play some Dragon Quest. Or excuse me, Dragon Warrior. Dragon Warriors, come out to play.
Nice!
Whoa, did he just get sneezed? Hi, Starblaze, thanks for the follow. I'll link you to this unidentified squid. I think it's fascinating. I wish we had more, like, knowledge about these people. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the follow, Starblaze. Yours? Oh, here it is. Oh, I screwed that up. The music's still playing. Scuff. It's fine. It's fine. I wasn't even listening to the most appropriate music for this sort of thing. I should have been, like, listening to Dungeon Synth earlier. I do like Dungeon Synth. You don't like Dungeon Synth? I like Dungeon Synth and Bardcore. And they've had their iconic music from the very beginning. The composer for Dragon Quest wasn't a very nice person, but wow, did he have talent. And by him I mean Koichi Sugiyama. such catchy overworld music, honestly. One of these days I need to try that NES shoot 'em up Rekka. Well, speaking of taking an interest in languages, I used to be real obsessed with trying to learn more about the so-called Ural-Altic language hypothesis. It has in the past few decades fallen out of favor, but I really wish it was true. I think that would be so cool. I think it would be so cool if Finnish was related to Mongolian. Y'all ever heard of the Kalevala? For a while when I was interested in, like, these ideas of cultural connections, I intentionally read the Kalevala. Gosh, Finnish culture is so fascinating. I think it's a pretty language. I know it's not just me who feels that way. J.R.R. Tolkien thought it was cool too.
Nice!
Oh my gosh. Oh wow! Edit! Edit, hi there! Oh, Goldsman. Thank you! Thank you for the raid, hi raiders! Hi, Chili. How y'all doing? I have to talk to my roommate for a second. I hope y'all don't mind. Hey, Gwen? Everything okay? Alright, one of those energy drinks there is for you if you want it. I got a white monster. I don't know if you drink energy drinks or if you can handle the caffeine. But there was a buy two get one free. So you can have one if you want one. Oh, those are boiled eggs. 100% Adam Craffle. Congratulations at it. I've never. Oh. Are you okay? Are you okay, Gwen? Oh, did it break? Is your foot okay? Do you need help? Oh no! Oh my gosh. Okay, one second, y'all. Do you need a pain reliever or something? Towel or small towel?
Big towel from upstairs.
Big towel.
Oh. under the door.
Oh no. Where is the
Bottle of it.
Oh,
It does. It's why I need help.
Be right back. I'm sorry, y'all. Such a nice bottle of whiskey, too. Do you want me to get it up?
I mean, what? Thanks. You are.
Okay, back. Sorry about that. Apparently one of our bottles of whiskey got spilled. Fell on one of my roommate's feet. And hurt. And the cup is busted, too. You're not supposed to drink more than one. Yeah. You can definitely overdose on caffeine. It's very possible to overdose on caffeine. What is Atom Craft anyway? Or is there just spamming enemy counters on me? Hey, Glenn? What should we do about the lid? We should probably try to protect what's left of that whiskey. Both me and Julia agree that that's some really good whiskey, so it would... You sure that's a good idea? Putting it in a different bottle could mess it up. Maybe we should put something on top of it? I don't think Julia's gonna approve, but you'll have her to deal with. What other bottle are you gonna put it in? I don't think plastic would be a good idea. Egwin?
Yeah.
What bottle are you gonna put it in?
Find it.
Alright. Right. When do you usually go live? Lately it's been in the evenings. Idfimosen. Oh, it's a bot. Great, it is a bot. It's kinda suspicious. That whole waiting for your request is definitely kinda suspicious. Yeah, it's not my usual stream time. Lately it's been evenings. Like, American time evenings. Eastern time evening. Like, from, like, around 8 p.m. to midnight? In Eastern time zone? 3 minutes ago. Yeah, that's pretty sus. That's pretty sus. That's pretty sussy baka. That's a sussy baka if there ever was one. Think we found the imposter. Dingamage wyverns. Wasted my MP. Yeah, thanks for deleting that message. Stoppa! Why does it keep giving me magic wyverns? The one enemy I don't want to have to deal with right now. I hate to complain, but dang. The flies in his house, I wish they were gone by now. He won't leave me alone. I swear I try to keep a clean enough place. I cleaned the litter last night. Took out the trash yesterday. They're still here. For reference, before he went for like a vacation, my roommate Julia, her dad would like come in and out all the time. I think that's how he brought like flies in. Just coming in and out of the house constantly. And now I don't know how to get rid of them. I wiped down the stovetop last night, took out the trash, cleaned the litter box. I'm going to just get rid of so much bad litter. Just making sure every little bit of litter that looked bad was gone. Put some new litter in. And then the flies are still just like, I'm just gonna perch on this human. I'm gonna perch on this fairy. I'm gonna perch on the fairy. I'm gonna rub all the gross things on this fairy over here. This unsuspecting fairy. I'm gonna land on her arm. I'm gonna land on her forehead. Finally, a metal slime. Oh, in the art book?
Yeah.
Didn't that already have alcohol in it?
Yeah, that would pour it into a glass, and then it would wash it out so that the alcohols would not mix.
Oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad you didn't mix them. How much was left in that art bag? Are good? Not much. Can you pour just a little into this? Just a little. Yeah, that's plenty. I don't want to get drunk. Thank you. Got an idea where that could go, but I don't think that there's enough. Thank you. Oh, that's gotta burn. Whew. That's gotta burn. You feel like you just about have to take, like, Tums with that stuff. It burns so much. Airbag. Hey, I have an idea. I don't think we'll be able to put it all in here. Catherine added this thing because I thought it looked cute. How much of that do you think we could get in a year?
About that instead.
That would work. Yeah, that's bigger.
Actually, I didn't even know it was whole now.
Yeah, use the whole one. That's perfect. I didn't even remember I'm glad I still have that.
I don't know how. Oh, I just thought you did that.
Nice. Alright, problem solved. Sorry, we had to save our liquor law. Crisis averted. We don't drink very often, don't you worry. We are not alcoholics. But it would suck to lose that expensive stuff. Tetris 99? Yeah, sure, at some point. More in Vietnam. Wait, is this a reference? Why Vietnam? Oh, starring Robin Williams, huh? I haven't seen that one. I've seen a few of his movies. I know he was a huge nerd, including like a fan of Nintendo games. And what was it, the 5-hour photo? Have you seen like the 5-hour photo one where he's like an obsessive stalker? And he like misreferences an Evangelion figure? Evangelion? Neon Genesis Evangelion. Evangelion? Skillion. Do I even remember anymore? Na 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 na. Iban Je? Is it? I think it's Je. I think I always said Jellion. I've heard people say Gellion, though. I think it's mispronounced in the movie. Not that I'm great at pronouncing it. Let's Wikipedia to make sure I don't embarrass myself any further. It's like, he calls Asuka's mech like a guy superhero. It's like, oh, okay, I guess Asuka's a guy now. Evangelion. So it's Ge. It's not Je, it's Ge. Evangelion. Soだよね. Yeah, he named his daughter Zelda. Stop giving me Magic Wyverns, game! The heck? So what was Good Morning Vietnam about? Aside from probably about Vietnam. It's about Ho Chi Minh. But yeah, I do need to play Tetris 99, though as you can see, I'm not very good at Tetris. I ended up playing it today just because it's an NES game. The troops and good spirits. I see. Vietnam. One of the most unjust wars my country has ever fought. I'm sorry, Vietnamese people. I'm sorry about what my country did. Clovey flies. I'd love to go to a coffee shop in Vietnam. I've heard they have great coffee. Interval far is the next level. I'm reasonably close. I go use the bathroom again. Oh yeah, the Ren Fair coffee we had was pretty good. I've heard that the Vietnam has some insanely good coffee. Right, I'll be right back. Alright, that's not innocent, that's metal. I mean, I don't dislike metal, I do enjoy metal. I can't wait to go to another Ren Fair. I really enjoyed that Ren Fair. Alright, be right back. Okay, but You know what I really want on our next, Renfest trip, if there's money? I want a nice belt. A really nice leather belt. Preferably with like a Celtic pattern on it or something. Also, I want some a triquetra necklace and triquetra earrings. Also, I'm gonna take my Viking, like my period appropriate, not period is that kind of period, you know, but my like time period appropriate Viking medieval linen dress. It's made of real linen. I want to get that hemmed. They seem to have gotten my measurements wrong. The bust is too small, which is fine, it's not too chafing. But it's too long. Like, I'm not that tall. So I need to get it hemmed. Either I need to do it myself or, like, get someone to do it. I don't know how to hem linen or if it needs to be treated differently. It feels so dumb. It's been so long since I was actively into sewing. I'm afraid I'll screw it up if I do it myself. And next time, I'm bringing that linen dress with me. I'm gonna hem it, or get it hemmed. Cause it's too long. I'm gonna wear it to the Ren Fair. But I would like a new belt to go with it. I think it would be cool to have a triquetra necklace. Don't give me magic wyverns. I don't have to deal with magic wyverns. At least I'm getting pretty darn close to the next level. Didn't you say you wanted to buy like a gambeson or something for yourself? I forgot which the thing is that you really wanted for you. Annie, what was it you really wanted for you at the Ren Fair? Ooh, nice. Gambison, okay. Yeah, okay, so you remember right. Cool. Just give me the one enemy I don't want to have to deal with. I'm finally starting to get seriously tired. I am awake way later than I thought I'd be. I was awake all night. I've been awake a long time now. I think if I was gonna have something medieval that's less feminine and more masculine or gender neutral than my Viking dress, would be like a nice tunic. It would be nice to have like a green tunic to make me feel like Link. Like classic Link. I know a ton of people like going to Ren Fair as Link, but still. It's a classic for a reason. Could even take like that little thing that we got the candy in, the little bottle? Remember the one they sold like the little sugary candies in? And like have like a little makeshift fairy in there and be like, look, got a fairy in a bottle! I can auto-revive! Yeah, I could bring a crossbow. Would they allow you to bring a crossbow there? I think I might have to prove that it's done not working because that's like a weapon. You can buy weapons at the Ren Fair, but I don't know if they allow you to take them in. They seemed more strict about that. Ooh, Metal Slime knees! The number one character I want to cosplay as for the Ren Fair is Marcial from Dungeon Meshi. Last time I was at the Deerfield Beach Ren Fair, I only saw one Marcial, and it was awesome. My Viking medieval dress will be pretty good for what she has. I've got a belt, it's just not ideal. I will need a nice staff with like a hook at the end. And I will need some sandals, because she wears sandals. And he'll need a cape. Like a little cloak. Like a cloak. But that's pretty much all I need. Cosplay Laios. Honestly, that would be pretty cool. That would honestly be pretty cool. Unless you want to go as, like, Senshi. You could make dumb jokes about you trying to cook food. And me pretending to be grossed out. I could bring, like, a little thing that's like... that looks like a dead monster. And, like, a bowl of food. And you could be like, oh, this is so delicious. And I'll be like, no! I don't want to eat this! It's disgusting! Magnificent upbeard. I don't know. You sure about that? Okay, maybe you can't grow a beard that long. I don't know. I messed up. I was supposed to do stop. How short is Senshi? He's a dwarf, yes, but how tall is he? He's still taller than Chilichug. Isn't he? Isn't he taller than Chilichug? You could always get, like, a fake beard. If you're worried yours wouldn't be long enough. Finally go to level! I just need, like, one more and I can go face the Dragon Lord. Really? Just 2 more power? This is a decent number of hit points. 4. Oh yeah, he's real short. Okay, understand now. Well, so I know I'm oversharing this. But even though sports bras are supposed to be comfortable, I am so not used to wearing bras because I'm just a filthy shut-in who doesn't go out enough. And I wore one earlier to go to, like, the store last night to get the soda and the energy drinks. It is already making my titties feel restricted. It's uncomfortable. I barely even wore this thing tonight. Ugh. Ugh. Let the puppies free. Oh, the fly just went on my forehead again. I hate this. Disgusting. The flies are disgusting. Honestly, that's the biggest reason right now I prefer sleeping upstairs. Because if I sleep down here, the flies will try to get on me while I sleep. Why can't they just go away? It's mostly just germophobia with me. I know the sort of gross things that flies get up to. Oh, well, it's good news about good old games. Just cover yourself in fly... Yeah, just cover yourself in fly traps, Fivehead. Simple. Simple solution. Yeah. They keep flying right in my face. Why are they bothering me? Why didn't they land on something else? Yeah, the old Dragon Quest 1. Pretty grindy, honestly. No flies do that. I don't know why, but it's annoying. Mostly because they're gross. Flies are gross. They spend their time on gross things. I mean, I guess they are attracted to sugar. It's like they say, catch more flies with honey. Oh, good. Finally, a metal slime. They suppose... How long do flies live? You wouldn't think there would be so many in the house. They can't be breeding anywhere. I cleaned the litter box. Replaced the litter in the litter box with new fresh litter. Took the trash outside. Cleaned off the stovetop. Cleaned off the countertops. Cleaned the floors at least some. They should have nothing to, like, latch on to. Flies, stop. I don't want to kill flies is the thing. But I certainly want them out of this house. And to stop flying on my face. I don't want to facilitate them breeding in here. Again, this happened because Julia's dad came to live with us. He's out. Been back to Florida for a while. But he would go in and out. And in and out of the house. Constantly. And he would bring in bugs. Well, considering this is still grindy, maybe I should save and also go play something else. I don't know, you want me to play something else or you want me to grind more Dragon Quest? I do want to keep it to the NES for today, though. I'm trying to focus on the system. Isn't able to... Huh. Interesting. Oh yeah, or are they harmful to cats? Because I think our cats would probably try to double on it. We have cats. Join the Discord? I think so. I think they joined the Discord. Thank you, Meadow Slime! Please don't run away. I said please don't run away. Why is there a dash between M, Y, and TH? Well, at least I thought they joined our Discord. It said it's pronounced mice? Wait, why is it pronounced mice? Squeak, squeak. Why is it pronounced mice? Oh my gosh, that's a lot actually. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't quite this much grinding. Gosh dang, Slim's running away. I'm gonna go, like, save. Oh, because it's a reference to the Chinese zodiac. But why spell it myth then? I'm kinda tempted to play Mario 1 and see if I can do, like, the one trick. Or something, I don't know. I'm also tempted to just go to bed. I mean, I just get raided, though. So much experience to the next level. It feels kind of demotivating, to be honest with you. With that much to go. Why don't I have Ruck on here? Hmm. Starring Snow White, huh? Ton NES Rabbit. What is that a reference to? I confused myself. I think you need to go sleep. I know I just got raided, but sleep deprivation's not good. Well, let's see if I can find someone else to read. Paid forward. Grimmy streaming. Mm, there's also Grimmy Hunter. They probably need the support. They only have like 13 viewers. Yes, maybe Grimmy Hunter. Do y'all have any recommendations for raid? You gotta go. Yeah. I'm sleepy. I've been up all night. Sleep deprivation's not good. Okay, guess I'll just raid this person.
Shit. Fucking minging? What do you mean minging? What? Deep fried Mars bars or? There you go. Hey, Road Fairy. Everyone's favorite session of Sonic Unleashed. Mm-hmm.
Alright, time to read.
Without anything's actually pretty good. I'm gonna keep this just in case.
I'll take care. Thanks for coming to my stream. I'm gonna go lay down.
Level and you're like, oh wait, I'm here.
So nice little short retro variety stream I
We're
had.
not going to.
Where I yapped and yapped as usual. So we're gonna raid Grimmy Hunter. They're playing Sonic Unleashed. I love the day stages from that game. It's pretty cool. Night stages are a little grindy. It's fine. At least you don't have to play them. You get to watch this person deal with those. I'm gonna go brush my teeth again.
Did I get you? I think I just missed that. I did.
And try to sleep through the caffeine.
We can now,
And watch my face. Because of these stupid flies.
Brando? Oh, hell yeah. The more
So you'll hang in there.
Like
I'll see you next time, which is hopefully soon.
No, I'm going to Wimmer Isle. Actually, no, I'm going to fucking Eggman.
Love y'all. I'm gonna read now.
My brain can't handle that.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
Absolutely not, Megan. Why the hell am I here? Yo, Little Fairy, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, welcome. Oh, hey, Miku. Yeah, we got Miku. Why am I here? I'm gonna go get these medals. Thank you so much. What is you doing? Mod, can you do me a favor and shout out to Little Fairy, please? Thank you, thank you. Were you doing Unleash as well? This is the PC though. This is the recomp. But we're doing a randomizer. So everything is not normal. So we're going to go into the stage. It should be Wimmer Isle night, but it's not going to be Wimmer Isle night. It's probably going to be something like Rooftop Run Day or something. Oh no. Oh no. It's even worse. It's even worse. Metal bug? Ah! It's even worse! What do you mean metal bug? We have gone from it can not get worse to it got worse. Yeah, welcome everyone. I don't know. Nah, you're good. You're all good. Let me just wait. Nah, you're good. Thank you so much for the raid, though. Oh, yeah, I am in Scotland. I moved up 12 hours to come to Scotland. I now live in Scotland. It is true. Can I do this? Okay, we're gonna be able to do this, but we're not gonna be able to. Yeah, I've got level 1 hog. Yo, what's up, dude? That's cool though. Oh, it's amazing. And what would even be better though is an AP for this. I could play this on the Unleashed. It's so facing in Scotland. Yeah, I was from the Midlands. Now I'm in Scotland.